Hello and welcome to my channel for news about reports for USA. Please follow and subscribe for more information. Let's begin. OutDaughtered premiered season 9 on July 11th, and Adam Busby got busy posting up a lot of posts on social media, but his latest one revealed him gut-punched with emotion. What's going on with the husband of Danielle and dad to the Quints and big sister Blake? Is he okay? Scroll down to find out. OutDaughtered Adam Busby spends more time with the kids. In a previous season, viewers of the TLC show saw that Danielle fell quite ill. As time went by, medical professionals discovered that instead of a heart issue, she suffered from an autoimmune disease. However, that's not why her husband spends more time with the kids than he used to. If you don't know, Danielle started her own retail outlet in League City, Houston, Grayson B. Scenes from the current season revealed that Danielle's all about her new business. Naturally, as Adam Busby tends to spend much more time with Riley, Ava, Olivia, Hazel, and Parker, he gets to know his daughters very well. Of course, OutDaughtered fans also know that he's devoted to his oldest child, Blake, 12. Currently, the family visits New York City, and it's a mix of fun and business for them. All of the kids and their parents went along, and that's when the patriarch of the show started feeling deeply emotional. Adam Busby talks about the old days. Taking to his Instagram this week, the dad of 6 girls grew extremely emotional. In his photos, fans could see that the Quints looked colorful in their Grayson B outfits. Meanwhile, Blake stood next to her mom looking like a pea in the same pod. Tagging it with Central Park, New York, he wrote a very long caption and dedicated it to his lovely family of many daughters. It's been a long time since Adam Busby visited the Big Apple with his wife and kids. In his caption, he mentioned that the Quints were still small the last time they were there. He said, "Gathered all my girls for this picture and it hit me, they're not so little anymore." Pleading face, well, if he feels surprised, imagine how TLC fans feel as they watch the new season. The show took a long hiatus and a lot happened while the family was away. OutDaughtered fans who read the post by Adam Busby saw that he seemed particularly emotional as he compared the Quints of the past to the kids of today. He added, "This post is a salute to all the parents navigating through the bittersweet journey of seeing their kids grow up. It's not always easy, but it's worth every second." He also talked about how much more active the kids are now that they're a lot bigger. Nowadays, they tear around full of curiosity and fun. Additionally, he and Danielle get bombarded by a whirlwind of questions, and the fashion discussions. Grinning face with sweat, for Adam Busby, the current time is very precious, but he'll never forget the days of the children taking their first wobbly steps. What do you think about the TLC star feeling gut-punched with emotion about his children growing up? Shout out in the comments below if you can relate. Remember to come back to Reports for USA for more news about the OutDaughtered family. Adam Busby sat in the living room, the soft hum of the ceiling fan barely audible over the laughter of his 6 daughters playing in the background. It was a typical summer afternoon in Texas, where the heat outside was stifling, but inside, the air conditioning provided a sanctuary of cool comfort. He glanced at his wife, Danielle, who was busy in the kitchen preparing lunch. Her presence always brought him a sense of calm, but today, an inexplicable unease gnawed at him. Adam couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. He had woken up with a heavy heart, a gut-wrenching wave of emotions that he couldn't quite identify. His phone buzzed on the coffee table, and he picked it up to find a notification from Facebook. It was a memory from exactly 5 years ago. He tapped on the notification, and a photo of the family appeared on the screen. They were at the beach, the girls much smaller and more manageable, their faces lit up with pure joy as they played in the sand. Adam remembered that day vividly. It had been one of those rare moments where everything felt perfect. He smiled at the memory, but the smile quickly faded as he felt a pang of sadness. Time was slipping through his fingers like grains of sand. His girls were growing up so fast, and he couldn't shake the feeling that he was missing out on precious moments, despite being present in their lives every day. "Hey, babe, you okay?" Danielle's voice pulled him from his thoughts. She had noticed his distant expression and came over, concern etched on her face. "Yeah, just a little overwhelmed, I guess," he replied, forcing a smile. "Just thinking about how fast the girls are growing up." Danielle sat down beside him, placing a reassuring hand on his knee. "I know it's hard, but we're making so many wonderful memories with them. Try to focus on that, okay?" Adam nodded, but the lump in his throat didn't go away. He leaned in and kissed her forehead. "Thanks, babe. You're right." As they sat there, the doorbell rang. Adam got up to answer it, surprised to find his brother-in-law, Dale, standing on the porch with a serious expression. "Hey, Dale. Everything okay?" Adam asked, opening the door wider to let him in. Dale stepped inside, his face betraying a mix of worry and urgency. "We need to talk, Adam. It's about your dad." Adam's heart sank. His father had been battling health issues for years, but he had always seemed invincible in Adam's eyes. "What happened?" Dale sighed, rubbing the back of his neck. "He's had a stroke. They rushed him to the hospital this morning." Adam felt like the floor had dropped out from under him. The wave of emotions that had been building all day crashed over him with full force. "I need to go see him," he said, his voice trembling. Danielle, having overheard the conversation, came over and wrapped her arms around him. "We'll go together. The girls can stay with Mimi and Papa." Adam nodded, grateful for her support. Within minutes, they had arranged for Danielle's parents to come over and watch the girls. As they drove to the hospital, Adam's mind was a whirlwind of memories and fears. His father had always been his rock, the person he turned to for advice and strength. The thought of losing him was unbearable. When they arrived at the hospital, they were directed to the ICU. Adam's heart pounded in his chest as they approached his father's room. He wasn't prepared for the sight that greeted him. His father lay in the hospital bed, hooked up to machines, looking frail and vulnerable. It was a stark contrast to the strong, larger-than-life figure Adam had always known. Tears welled up in Adam's eyes as he took his father's hand. "Hey, Dad. I'm here," he whispered, his voice breaking. His father opened his eyes and managed a weak smile. "Hey, son," he croaked, his voice barely audible. Adam could see the pain and struggle in his father's eyes. "I love you, Dad. We're going to get through this, okay?" His father nodded, but Adam could see the uncertainty in his eyes. He squeezed his father's hand, trying to convey all the love and support he felt. The minutes stretched into hours as they sat by his father's bedside, the beeping of the machines the only sound in the room. As the evening turned into night, Adam and Danielle took turns sitting with his father. Adam couldn't shake the feeling of helplessness.